this video, we're going to be looking at how to strengthen the buttock muscles with a simple bridge exercise. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to set our position first of all. So you want to make sure that your spine is lined up, so you've got your nose, your breastbone, your belly button and your pubic bone in line. So if you imagine sort of splitting the mat in half, you want to make sure that that's in that position. Now you also want to make sure that your knees are hip width apart, and it might be useful to slide your feet towards your buttocks. That's great, into that position there. Excellent, so you might just move that foot into that position there. Okay, so once you're set in that position, this is a crook lying position, mainly because you're lying down, but your knees are crook bent. That's why it's called a crook lying position. Now, in this position, we're going to imagine that glass of water resting on your pubic bone, and we're going to drop the water onto the belly button. So you're going to tilt your pelvis and flatten your back into the mat. You're then going to lift the tailbone from the mat, and bit by bit, almost like a gold chain, lifting one link at a time. You're lifting just as far as you feel able to, and ideally until you've got a nice straight line from the shoulders through the hips and into the knees. And then to bring yourself back down, you're going to lower down at the top of your back, like that gold link chain is coming down link by link until your tailbone reaches the mat. And then you're going to level your pelvis, bringing that water level back to the horizon. Okay, and that's with equal weight bearing, so you're putting the same amount of weight through each foot. Let's try again. So we're going to tuck the tail in underneath us, spill the water onto the belly button, and then lift the tailbone and then the spine, bone by bone, off the floor until you've gone as high as you feel able to. Now, if you overarch your back and you push your hips to the ceiling, you can go too far and you lose that connection between the ribs and the hips. So it's important then to imagine just flattening through and bringing that connection back. You might not lift as high through your hips, but you'll really feel it through your buttocks. And then you'd bring yourself down again from the chest all the way down through the spine into the pelvis, and then level the pelvis back to a neutral position. You can bring your breathing into it. Obviously we don't want you holding your breath, and we don't want you hunching your shoulders up towards your ears. So it's important then to think, right, exhale with effort. I'm going to inhale to prepare, and then I'm going to exhale to tilt and lift. Good. And then I'm going to inhale as I come down, bringing the chest down first, then the tailbone, and then levelling off the pelvis. Now you can do a combination with this movement. You can do some lift and holds. You can do some pulses. You can hold and then do some pulses and then do another hold. However you want to work it, but you want to get to that point of fatigue. Now fatigue will come in maybe with a burning sensation in your buttocks, or maybe with a shaking where you feel like you can't maintain that lift without your buttocks and your pelvis wobbling from side to side or up and down. And once you reach that point, you know you've reached that fatigue point in your buttocks, in those muscles. And when you reach fatigue, that's going to be the point where the muscles start to engage and start to change over time. So you want to be repeating that to the point of fatigue at least 3 times a week, if not daily, depending on how quickly you want the response in your muscles. But you've got to persevere with this exercise. It does get easier over time, and you can progress this exercise to make it more challenging, and it's worthwhile persevering and then progressing, persevering with the progression and then continuing to progress that until you feel that you can maintain a really good bridge position for a good length of time, and also for a good number of repetitions of pulses. Those buttocks are really, really important, and we tend to sit on them a lot through the day, and that can cause a problem with weakness, lack of flexibility and lack of endurance. So this is an excellent exercise to wake those buttock muscles up and to get them stronger.